Our region's business is sponsored by PNC for the Achiever in You.
Most business leaders and investors, for that matter, are always looking for the best way to maximize their return on investment, their ROI. Well, when it comes to human capital, one of the most effective ways is to invest in early childhood education, especially pre-kindergarten. In our region, the Pittsburgh Association for the Education of Young Children is leading the charge for PreK for PA, a new statewide initiative. Michelle Figlar is Executive Director, and welcome. Good to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me here today.
Okay, first off, a little bit about the Association for Education of Young Children.
Sure.
What's that all about?
We are a local affiliate of the National Association for the Education of Young Children. We actually serve a 10-county region, same as the Allegheny Conference, so we have the same footprint. We have just over 1,500 members. So our members are people who work in the early childhood field. So whether it's in a child care program or Head Start or a public pre-K program. So those are our members. And we provide professional development, community awareness on why this topic is so important, and advocacy on ensuring that every child in Pennsylvania has access to a high-quality early learning program.
Okay, well, you mentioned that this type of education is important. Why? Well, what makes it such a big deal?
So there are so many reasons, right? I think right now we have the just the pleasure of having so much research that helps us understand about brain development. So we know that a young child's brain develops more rapidly than at that time of life between birth and 5, especially between birth and 3 than in any other time of life. But we also now we have Pennsylvania's data that shows us that kids who have access to a high quality pre-K program are actually showing up at the kindergarten door more ready. And one would think, what does that mean? And kindergarten teachers tell us that children come ready to learn. They come ready to be able to be next to the children that they're sitting next to. They're able to hang up their coat. They're able to go to the cafeteria. So those things, you know, maybe back in my day, that's what I learned in kindergarten, but it's really changed. The landscape has changed. But we also know that there's other short-term investment return. We know that children are less likely to go into special education, right? So there's an immediate return for school districts, and then there's a long-term investment that we know that children who have access to high-quality pre-K actually are more likely to graduate high school.
So you can train that all the way through, all the way
Absolutely.
through age 18, and
all the way through.
Yeah, 12th grade.
And so we know on the short term they do better in school. We also know that for people who are working families, the immediate need, especially in a region like Pittsburgh, where we're trying to grow so many jobs, that families need access to high-quality child care. Sometimes we forget that. Like, we talk about wanting to grow jobs, and that's wonderful, but I try to remind business leaders, don't forget, families need a high-quality place for their children, and you can actually recruit families to the region by saying, look, we have great pre-K here. Why don't you come here instead of maybe Ohio or somewhere else,
that tends to be a draw.
Right.
Wow. So how many kids do we think are participating in pre-K or not across Pennsylvania?
So we know that here in our 10-county region we have around 50,000 children ages 3 and 4. Okay, so around 300,000 children statewide. We know today, even with all the investments Pennsylvania has made, and we have made significant investments, and this has really become a nonpartisan issue. This is just something that everyone knows makes sense because they can see the return. We are still only serving 1 out of 6 children.
1 out of 6?
1 out of 6. So the first part of this campaign is really focused on gubernatorial candidates. Okay. So how do we get the candidates who are out there right now during the month of April, during the month of the young child, right? Through this whole month we're celebrating young children. We want to hear them talk about this being a priority in the state of Pennsylvania. But then naturally we have got to have this focus in Harrisburg and the legislature as well. And that's part of our ongoing work. So we take members out to meet their elected officials. We bring elected officials to early childhood programs. That's probably the most powerful thing we do each and every year.
Sure.
So throughout April, it's really amazing, and you should come too, to be with a group of young children and actually read with them and talk with them. I think that experience helps them realize this is critically important.
Wow, if only a few seconds left, but I wonder if you want to get involved and help or weigh in some way, how do they
Absolutely.
do that?
So we need everyone to join this campaign. So this campaign is also about the general public. So we know that we need parents, we need business leaders, we need grandparents, we need teachers, we need everyone saying the time is now. Now more than ever, people are talking about pre-K, from the president to the governor's office to our mayor is talking about it. What they need to hear is that it's important to us. So join the campaign, sign up, be a voice with us.
Website?
www.paeyc.org
PAEYC.org
or PreK4PA.org as well.
I like that one even better. PreK4PA.org. Michelle
That's
Figlar.
it. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Yeah. And we'll be back in a minute with little dollars and cents. Stay with us.